And welcome back to part 2. I'm Leonie and this is Hope Meets Banter. Alright, we're back with old devil, Hope and Drifty.
Old.
Good old pal.
Old man. That's a
Young and beautiful.
You got
Young and
this.
beautiful. Whoa,
You got
young and
this.
beautiful. My grey is coming from now. No, I don't. Anyways, right. Let's talk about the Champions League draw, right? Because I do think this is something really important and very exciting. I can't wait for the first game.
The CL.
So we've got Ajax versus Juventus.
The prospects.
Juventus are top of their league, so Ajax have for their league, right, in La Liga. So they have a tough opponent here. We've got Liverpool versus Porto. Drifty is happy. There we go. We've got a smile. There you go. We've got
No. You already have. So you've disrespected the FC Porto. So if FC Porto beats Liverpool, I'm doing a special featuring you. A 3 hour special.
Alright, well, we'll see. Let me just quickly go through that. We also have like Spurs versus Manchester City, who are at the moment also top of their Premier League, of the league. And we've got Manchester United versus Barcelona. They're also top of their league, right? So as it stands, Drifty, let's start with you, because it does look pretty good for Liverpool, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I don't want to get cocky, because the first rule of failure is getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel like you've got the battle won, which I hope Klopp and the players don't do, because that's who we wanted. Let's not kick around. I gave a fist bump. When I saw Porto come out, I smiled, I got up, I strutted around a little bit.
Oh, if only we had a camera for
you know
this
what I mean?
moment.
Do you know what I mean?
McGregor.
For me, we couldn't have asked for a better draw. No, we could have. We could have been home for the second leg. That's the only thing that could have made that better. But I'm hoping we get the job done like we did when we played Roma and Man City last season, where like the job is just done at home. That the away leg, we can just like, you know what I mean, just see it through. I wouldn't have wanted to play Barcelona. They're the scary team.
Yeah,
They're the scary team.
I'd agree.
But I didn't want any of the English clubs, because I just hate playing English teams in the Champions League. There's almost a part of me that wishes you couldn't play an English team until the semi-final, because I just feel like
that's the whole point of the Champions
League.
Yeah,
you don't want to play a team you play all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially a rival like City and Man United. Like, because I can imagine how, like, if we'd have played Man United in the quarter-final, that would have been the biggest game between Liverpool and Man U for years. Do you know what I mean? Like, we played them in the Europa League a few years back, and obviously back in the Premier League days, we had like 08, 09, where we were trying to win the league.
That was when the Europa League was dead. So
no,
obviously now it's a different competition.
So for me,
a lot more prestigious now.
For me, Porto was the ideal draw. But again, we need to take them seriously. They're doing really well this season, way better than they were doing last year. So we can't just we beat them last year, so yeah, we can do it this time.
All the teams that are there deserve to be there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously
Do you know what I mean?
They're on merit.
They got there.
They are by far. Well,
so for me, it was the best draw
left.
we could have got. Only maybe Ajax, but I think Ajax may have probably just caused a little bit more of a problem. But who knows? I think those two teams is like, if you get one of them, you're alright. So for me, it was the best draw. Let's just stay professional, and if we're going to progress in this competition, Man City need to win. If Man City go out, they've definitely won the Premier League, because then they'll have nothing left to concentrate on. So like, I need Tottenham to bow down, let them through, but take those points in the league.
See, but you know what's that Spurs City is probably the most interesting tie, because both have got. No, I think it is, because Tottenham, if they don't finish in the top 4, are they going to win the Champions League? So do they focus all their energy in the Champions League, or do they think, no, we need to get in the top 4 to be able to be back here? We've got the new stadium.
Poch will always
we need to be in the
thinking
Champions
top
League.
4.
Do you know what I
Levy
mean?
will be thinking.
Whereas City
top 4.
obviously are thinking, right, we've got a league to win. You know, if we get past the Spurs, we have got a chance of winning the Champions League. That's probably what they're looking at.
Champions League is their number one target.
Exactly. So I'm thinking both teams are going to be thinking, right, if we advance this, how does that affect us in the league? For different reasons.
So you're making me happy. You think my scenario could be the one?
I do think City will go through over 2 legs, just because I think they're the better team.
Tottenham win the league game.
And no, I don't think Tottenham will win.
Come on, man, give me some joy, man.
It's at the Etihad, so I don't think Tottenham are going to go there and win it. Sorry, mate.
No. Oh no, it is.
No, it's at the Etihad. They played them at Wembley.
Just before I forget, just on that Tottenham thing, here's what really worries me. you don't play your team 3 times and lose all 3 of them. Like just laws of average. I mean, maybe if it was like Stoke City playing Barcelona, then that's the case. But if a team as good as Tottenham, you don't play 3 games and lose all 3 of them. Here's my fear. Tottenham lose the league game, lose at the Etihad by a big enough margin that they win their home game, but they don't fuck him out. I just know that's what's gonna happen. I just know that is what's gonna happen. Nice. I just know, and then Tottenham can be like, oh, well, at least we won one. It doesn't fucking count. You're out.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. That's nice.
I mean, basically, no. Look.
And Dele Alli cries. I like that.
No. Basically, for me, I think Liverpool, like again, FC Porto, like. Because I watched the FC Porto Roma game where FC Porto played in Portugal, where they're really strong, and Roma are trash, and it took them extra time to beat Roma, who are horrible. So when I look at that, where FC Porto, they rely on how good they are in Portugal, I think Liverpool can actually go there and actually beat them in Portugal as well. So it's a great draw for Liverpool, disaster for FC Porto. So I'm Tottenham, Man City, like I couldn't give a damn about form. Tottenham will probably lose both games. Like I don't
all
care.
3.
I like that.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, the averages.
I don't care about averages. I was bad at maths. Okay, I was in the bloody C set. I got moved down to the D set. Look, this is a separate thing. Basically, I'm
Nah, the law of averages say that they will at least draw or win.
I don't care about law of averages. They're losing all 3 games because City just have their number. When someone has your number and you have that inferiority complex, you're losing all 3 games. I'm sorry, losing all 3 games.
Tottenham have been known to bottle it before.
I wouldn't call Tottenham inferior to Man City.
No.
Over the last few seasons, there've been some really good performances. They beat City the season before last.
They have an inferiority complex. Like Tottenham walk there and like,
so how did Poch beat Pep 2 seasons ago? Then?
2 seasons ago, bro. 2 seasons ago.
No, but you're saying he's got an inferior. If that was the case, he'd lose every game.
How many times
Tottenham are inferior to Man City? That's just
in general. But
I do think they have the tendency of sometimes to surprise people. And to show up, to show up and play strong.
They won me £250.
They're not showing up against Man City.
Fair enough. I mean, Man City is the devil that you know, right? So you come in with a different kind of psyche, I guess. What did Dele Alli do to you?
I just don't like him. I do not like
Dele. He's Nigerian, by the way.
He doesn't like anything Tottenham.
No, you know what? I'll give him his respect. He's a very good football player. He is, but he's a prick.
He's a model, isn't he? Like hanging the YouTube, isn't he?
He's got a range on Boohoo or something.
Something. So anyway, which way?
Got a rating.
Well.
As a footballer, yeah. As a man, prick.
What do you guys think about the Ajax game? I just want to say, because Ajax had quite a bit of a struggle to kind of get to where they are, right? They had like these crazy games with like goals denied and all whatnot. Don't you think that maybe they come out really strong for them? They're going to really give Juventus a good old trouble?
Bad
I would love them to be
Ronaldo's injured, isn't he? Ronaldo
but he said
is he proper injured or is it just a little niggle?
He said 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I think he plays.
For me, call me crazy because Juve would have definitely wanted Ajax or Porto. Let's be honest.
100%.
Everybody wanted those two teams.
Yeah, fair.
But there's a slight part of me, and it's a crazy part that makes no sense. You know what I mean? I call this drifty logic. But don't ask me why. I don't ever had a dream. I don't know what. But I have a slight feeling that there's an upset in this Ajax Juve game. I just do. I don't. No.
You're
honestly,
such a fairy tale person. We live in reality. It's 2019. Let's be real, man.
No, honestly,
this is not bloody Harry Potter, man.
I don't like Harry Potter. I just have a feeling that I don't like Lord of the Rings.
I love Lord of the Rings.
I don't like the Matrix. I don't have a.
What the hell do you like?
I just have a feeling that.
You like the Matrix? What the hell?
I like Breaking Bad. I just have a feeling.
Talking about drugs again. What's going on?
What's happening?
What's going on here?
Bloody drug addiction.
I just have a feeling that tie, everyone's like, wrap, done, dusted. I'm like, did you know what? The way Ajax performed against Real Madrid and the fact that they're in this stage, don't rule out another top performance from Ajax. Just don't rule it out.
I want to be with you on that.
Just don't rule it out.
Basically, you and Leonie, I think you and Leonie are very hopeful people, and I admire your people. I'm the realist here. That's why I'm needed here, because I take things real. So
does he know who he's talking to?
Just be hopeful. Are you mad? Have you met him?
Can I land?
I'm a realist.
No.
I don't think you can land this one. The landing gear won't come down.
Basically, you guys are like, oh my gosh, Ajax, could they? First of all, let me just break things down. Just give you some real talk, science. It's 2019. Let's just bring some Einstein to the stuff. Real Madrid are crap. So Ajax beat them because Real Madrid are complete and utter garbage.
That didn't need a brain surgeon.
So Juventus are a very bad matchup for Ajax because Real Madrid, who are very attacking and give you space, is what Ajax, a passing team, wants. Juventus won't give Ajax space, so Ajax's passing game ain't going to work against flipping Giorgio, who looks like he got taken out of like bloody hell or something with how his face is done. I love Giorgio though. But my thing about this is that Juve, the way they play, the way they are built, it's a bad matchup for Ajax, and I just think that Juventus are built to exploit Ajax's thing.
I 100% agree with everything you're saying. I think the Real Madrid performance from Ajax, I think that was a one-off. They caught Real Madrid on the right day. All of them performed at their maximum.
Yep.
I think Juventus is a completely different kettle of fish. Juventus is set up differently. They have got Ronaldo, who makes a difference in these kind of games. Ajax league form, they lost to AZ just the other day. Do you know what I mean? Their league form's not great. Yeah. They're about 6-7 points behind PSV.
I feel like the Champions League,
and they're young. They're young, so
they are. But
look at Juve's experience.
No fear though.
They've never Juve's experience will see them through. I think Real Madrid are going through a transition at the moment as well. I think Juve, they're on top of their game. I think Juve beat them comfortably.
Okay.
No.
Comfortably.
That's cool.
It's fair, but I also think that football is can surprise you sometimes as well.
I'm just saying,
Leonie, not this time, Leonie. I'm sorry.
Put it like this. All I'm saying
surprise is coming. The next game we're going to talk about.
If Ajax knock out Juventus, I don't think it's as big a shock as everybody's acting like it will be.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? And if Ronaldo wasn't playing, I'm putting money on Ajax.
Yeah. All right.
Honestly.
Well, we'll certainly talk about it once we've seen the result of that. I'm really looking forward to this. So, we'll see what's happening. All right. On to maybe a bit more of a sadder or quite upsetting topic, but I do think we have to talk about it. So, it's been in the news everywhere. Cardiff is refusing to pay Nantes for our dearly missed Sala. Right, so what do we think about this, right? There was so much controversy. They're saying it wasn't really legally binding. They're really kind of retreating from this. Nantes, of course, argue they've done all the paperwork as it should be, and they're expecting some money. And they should have paid something in February, and they didn't, and I guess that was out of respect, and now, of course, it's time to kind of pay up, and
I think Nantes,
things are happening.
There was a payment that was supposed to be due in February, and Nantes waived it and said, obviously, because of what's happening, we're going to give you extra time, blah, blah, blah. To my understanding, they've now come back and said, look, you owe us that money.
Yeah.
Cardiff have said, no, the contract wasn't legally binded as he wasn't registered with the Premier League. The transfer never really went through. I believe that FIFA have actually said, no, the transfer was regulated, whatever, and now it's going to go to court. But Cardiff are refusing to pay the money, and for me, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. He was your player when everyone was, commiserating and saying sorry to you guys. You had all of the attention and all of that. And I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm saying that should have been. But now you can't turn around and say, actually, no, he wasn't our player. We're not going to give you the money that we owe you. Okay. If he hadn't have had that transfer, if you hadn't have arranged the transfer, 2 people would still be here and they'll still be alive. So for you to turn around and say nothing to do with us and not pay the money that's owed to Nantes, who is a small team, they didn't want to sell him. They had to sell him because that is a massive amount of money for them. And to turn around and do that is absolutely disgusting. And that, for me, if they got relegated, it'd be well deserved. I think. It's horrible.
For me, I just think for Cardiff, I just think sometimes you just have to do the moral and right thing, because again, forget about legalities, trying to say, well, it says in this contract here and everything. Just take a step back and just play. Sometimes in these situations, you just need to be ethical and moral. Forget about all the paperwork and everything. Based on the situation at hand, even if you come to an agreement of okay, you pay 10 or 9, or come to an agreement where, okay, based on him not even playing for us, let's reduce the fee. To pay nothing, I mean, that's true. I mean, that does make sense, because as he said, you still engineered that transfer. That's meant that he took that plane. That's where the unfortunate things happen. So you still engineered that transfer. So you have to pay something. For me, I feel the best thing to do is you pay a reduced fee. That's, I think, is the best thing. So maybe none of the 15, because at the end of the day, you didn't get the player to play for you, but you have to pay something. Not paying anything makes no sense whatsoever. So
that's an ideal world.
I think
I totally understand where you're coming from. This just has to be blunt and just has to be upfront. Cardiff, pay the fucking money.
Pay the money.
Arseholes. How dare you parade around the Premier League for 2-3 weeks talking about how sad this is. All these fucking crocodile tears now. That's what it feels like. I'm like, oh, player, have sympathy. I'm on a great run. We must survive. Everyone's going to pray for us. And then you turn around and you do this. How dare you?
Yeah,
how dare you? That guy's family, the devastation, as Dev said, the pilot's family, this is on you. And I know that sounds harsh, but now we have to make it like that because you want to turn around and not pay them money that you owe them. If I drive out the lot and I've just bought a car and I lose my job the next day, I still owe the money for that car. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if I've had the car for 1 minute, 1 day, 2 years, I owe the money. I bought the car. You can't tell me that because he passed away and he's not here anymore, all of a sudden you don't owe the money. What are you talking about? Why didn't you give the man a plane that would get him home safely in the first fucking place?
This is the thing as well. They were supposed to supply.
Of course they were.
They're bringing him. They're supposed to supply the route, everything like that. Who was it left to? Like, that couldn't have been arranged. If that was arranged by Cardiff Football Club, then yes,
he was their record signing.
It was just like his
negligence as well.
I mean, there should have been a red carpet laid out. He should have had you know what I mean? Like, you put him on some little dinky plane. There wasn't even anyone else on the plane, just him and the pilot.
Well, I guess that that's something beyond our knowledge and what's happening and how safe that plane was and all of that. I think that's kind of beyond our reach and understanding. But I mean, just like in my personal opinion, just having this being like just wrapped up again like in the media and of course it's a huge kind of blows up in the media and it's just the pain that you put everybody involved through again with this, rather than just maybe being a bit more sensitive with this matter and keeping this bit under wraps and not making such a decision.
That's a good point.
That will come public eventually as well.
And surely there must be some form of insurance. Just like if a player breaks his leg and can never play again. I'm sure there must be some kind of insurance where Cardiff could claim back and not really have to. Do you know what I mean? Because if you say you bought a player for £100 million, you would insure him. And then if he broke his leg and can never play again, you could claim on that. For Cardiff, 15 million is a lot of money. They must have insured the transfer. Do you know what I mean? If they didn't, then that's your problem. Do you know what I mean? You should have. So either way, it's just bad, man.
I think Nantes have lost a player, and remember Nantes had this player for a long time. He had a lot of friends within the club. He was loved by the club. They've lost this player now, and and Cardiff just don't want to give him anything. It's like, well, no, you're not.
It's just like a double whammy.
No. I mean, I think for like, I just don't know, because again, I don't know what their defense can be based on this situation. Because as you guys have already said, like based on the tributes, everything, all the stuff in the media, everything is done. I don't know what your defense can be. That's like, well, we feel like if we are doing the right thing by law, because again, no. As I said again, you have to take a step back and be like, no, this isn't a regular situation. This is a very specific situation where you doing the right legal thing doesn't work here. It's about, this is a different situation where put all that legal stuff to one side, do the right moral thing.
It's life and death. It was actually life and death, and there's nothing bigger than life and death.
Do you reckon that just... do you think Cardiff will struggle with this, with this loss of money? Will this be really, really tough?
I mean, they're going to get their parachute payment if
they get relegated. 15 million is a lot of money.
But don't they get the
that's neither here nor there.
They get the parachute payment as well.
That's neither here nor there.
And the money they got for it doesn't matter.
And the money won't kill.
Even if that
was
the case, I feel they should give them the whole amount. But even then, we go back to what Double H said. Then let's call it half. Let's give you 8. We're really broke. This is the situation. But you're getting something. They're acting like, fuck you, man. Like, that's literally what they're saying.
So don't give anything.
So I agree, but just as a kind of two angles from this point of view. I mean, Cardiff is also an employer, right? Like there's a lot of players. They're paying people, and they want to probably make sure that this doesn't go to.
They should have secured the guy a good flight, man. They didn't do anything right in this whole scenario. Do you know what I mean? So Cardiff,
well, I see if you
do the right thing, man.
If you owe someone, you pay what you owe.
No, because you have the money to begin with.
Do the right thing right now.
It's like they had the money to begin with. So you obviously had that 50 million to spend. So had that just like disappeared now? You had it because you were already going to pay it. So it's like it's there. So if it's not there to be paid, then that's your financial negligence.
All right then. Well, we'll think of everybody and our best wishes out there for anybody involved. Let's talk about some more money, right? Since football is all about money in one way. So we've got a one shiny new £1 billion new stadium for Tottenham. Yay! Finally, that don't.
It looks. Don't hate. That looks good. That stadium looks good.
It does look good.
I was insulting, saying, "What the hell?" I'm look, Levy.
Does not make
You did your thing, bro.
Sorry.
Levy did your thing.
No, it looks good.
No,
I heard
try.
they're going
Leave it
to
try,
be
man.
sponsored by Evian.
Right.
They're going to sponsor the stadium, Evian.
What's up?
Yeah.
It's a bottle joke.
It's a bottle. There you go.
Right. Really funny. Goes beyond me, but I'm German, so I'm not good with humor. Anyway, so they found their new home, Spurs. Yay, congratulations to you guys. So the first match, the under-18s open up the whole stadium, and the first Premier League game is going to be happening on 3rd of April, right? Against Crystal Palace.
Come on, Palace.
So come on.
Fucking love it if they win their beat in the first game.
Oh, we'll see.
Sorry.
I think, okay, well, that would be a scandal. Anyway, we'll see about that. But just my question to you guys is like, will this keep Pochettino, right? Because we had some, I mean, he's obviously not going to Real Madrid now anymore because we've got the Frenchman there. But, you know, Manchester United has expressed some interest. So do you reckon he's looking around, or do you reckon this will finally give him, you know, when they have a home? It's a tough situation
I mean,
to have.
I don't think the stadium is what will keep him. I think what has happened around means, I think it was United or Real Madrid. So as you said, Zidane has gone to Real Madrid, and I really do believe that Solskjaer is going to keep the job for at least a season.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere else for him to go.
Maybe isn't Allegri leaving at the end of the season? Have Juventus got a new?
He just wants him out.
Well, no, this is not. No, it just popped into my head. Allegri
fucking league.
No, I don't think he will. But I just popped into my head. Allegri's leaving Juventus at the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Have they got anyone lined up?
I don't know.
Pochettino could go Juventus. I could see him at Juventus.
Juventus?
Yeah,
I don't think he's the right fit for Juventus.
No. You got to remember, this might be a bold statement to say about a guy who hasn't won anything, but for me, outside of the obvious choices, he's the best manager in the world. So you've got the little pot where you've got Allegri, you've got Klopp, Pep. Who else would really go
in there?
I'll put Zidane in there. There's a little pot. Of course, Klopp's in there. 100%. There's a little pot, and these are elite managers. Like these are the
Are you laughing at the German? Are you laughing at the German?
He's a hater.
But I said Pep and Klopp in the same sentence and just
Why not?
carried on. Like
Why not?
You know what?
Why not?
That's not too far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched at all.
Come on, bro.
Anybody
what
who
he did
dethrones
at
Bayern Munich,
at Dortmund.
No, he did very well at Dortmund, then he almost got them relegated. Let's not forget that.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
They
he
finished
did, bro.
8th.
Bro, they were flirting with relegation for half the season.
But still, what
He finished 8th.
No.
No, you keep saying this
No.
relegation thing like he finished 18th
He's up there
or
with Pep. When did
17th.
Pep finish 8th? Anyway, carry on.
No.
No comparison.
Wait. Let me
No
quickly,
comparison.
I'll respond to that.
Let's go.
Pep, who have you managed? Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City.
Yeah. And
Dortmund have never been on the level of those three clubs.
No,
and
they
what he did,
But they were,
and the brand
they
of
are
football
a
that he
big team
played
in
for the
Germany,
season.
but yeah, okay.
No. Are you saying Dortmund are on the level of Juventus, Barcelona, or
I
Bayern
didn't
Munich?
say Juventus Bayern Munich. I said they're a
No,
big club in Germany. I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
like that.
no. But for me, I feel that
You're gonna like he managed Mainz. If he did that with Mainz, then you could be like, wow, he did this big thing.
He
Dortmund
brought them.
no, but Dortmund are a big side.
So
he
hold
did
on.
very well at Dortmund.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
But
to say
they
he's
would.
on a level with Pep and these people that have been
Of
winning
course
trophies
he
year
is.
after year after year. How? What has he done?
It isn't just about winning trophies. Management is also about progression. What you do, bringing players through, making players better. It isn't just always about glory. We have to come down off of this
But
thing of
managers
like
are judged
only
by what they
winning
want.
thing.
No.
At the end of
Let him win with a Dortmund or a Mainz, then we can. Because no.
Exactly.
Because Bayern Munich, you were given everything you wanted. Barcelona, you had Messi. Man City, you have to be able to
There's
spend.
no way you can discredit Klopp.
We
in
were
that
talking
conversation at all.
about
Fine, so Ranieri
Pochettino
goes in there as well. Yeah.
Not only about
Ranieri
Klopp,
goes
but
in there as
I
well.
like the conversation. So.
We're gonna throw Ranieri in that same pot.
Wait, back and forth for
Okay.
Pochettino.
So for me, Pochettino was the best manager outside of that group of what I will call elite managers. And the only thing that he needs to jump in there is a big trophy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like winning the league or winning the
They
Champions
don't
League.
matter. You just said they don't matter.
No, but
You
that's
just
the
said
only.
they're
No, but Klopp has one thing. You're trying to say he can't compete with Klopp, Pep because he hasn't won as much, but he has won. He overthrew Bayern Munich with Borussia Dortmund. Straight away, that puts you in the conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, all other stuff.
No, it does.
And by making players to do it. He wasn't given some massive budget. We've got some of the biggest stars in the world that he made to do that, and that's my point.
Okay.
So it's a combination of both. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, if Pochettino was to go to Juve, that would be the way to get into that conversation. I know you can say Juve are meant to win the league, but once he's got it on his CV, we can't deny it anymore. He's won the league now, and I rate Poch that highly. I think Poch is easily the third best manager in the league. Easily the third best behind Klopp and Guardiola. Like, I just think it's unquestionable what he's done. And yeah, he needs that trophy, but for me, I can still see what's going on with him. So Juve would be a great move for him. It really would be a great move.
I think the Man United thing is going to go to Solskjaer.
Yeah.
And so I just figured the only other place he could theoretically go is Juve. If he doesn't stay at Tottenham. If he stays at Tottenham another season, then that makes sense as well. But I don't think the stadium's going to be in his mindset, because he knew about it already.
Okay.
We'll only get to see how the stadium impacts them moving forward. I think that's why they haven't signed anyone in the last 3 transfer windows, because of the stadium. So they're thinking of that, so they've kept all that money behind, so that when they're in the stadium, they can start bringing players in.
Yeah, fair.
I think that's why.
And that's the reason why I think maybe it would be in his thinking, because he might think, well, I went through all of that crap, at least I might as well see this out now and have a season and maybe get some players. And then, you know what, a new stadium is fun. We have to remember, everyone's got that little kid inside them. He might actually like the idea of like having a whole season at this new home, being the guy, being in the history books, because every manager wants a legacy, and he's written a legacy for Tottenham.
And it's pretty.
Legacy.
And it's pretty.
Yeah,
and it's
he goes
expensive.
down in history as one of Tottenham's best managers. He's in the legacy.
Well,
book.
we'll see how they do in that brand new venue. Good luck to them, and I'm definitely gonna follow what's happening against Crystal Palace on the 3rd of April. Right. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. Don't forget to follow us on social media and ask us some questions. We always love to hear from you. Bye bye.
Peace.